Hi friends, it's Danielle. I'm here to show you some Halloween journals finally. I will have 3 available. I'll give you a sneak peek. If you're seeing the video, they've been listed in my shop, so they are there currently. And we will go through them. Now they are very chunky, very decorated, very detailed. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a long video. And right off the bat, I will let you know, put this out there, I do have this little mini that is made from a vintage note card that is available. I handmade the cover, it's hardcover, and has a little tassel. I haven't finished it yet. I feel like I'm getting so far behind on this season, so I just kind of stopped progress on it because I don't know how many people are actually going to be interested in Halloween journals. Anyhow, I can't believe we're just in the beginning of October, but everybody's moving so quickly. I went into Home Goods and they're already clearancing their Halloween stuff out and getting ready for Christmas stuff. So I'm like, I feel like I'm just always behind, but that's okay. I'm still gonna share. I still had a blast making these. They were there was a lot of love and a lot of work that went into these. And the good news is that as soon as they're purchased, they're ready to go. I just have to wrap them up. I've got little, these little extra packs are not huge this time around. There's stuff in there. There's like, this is one of the napkins that I had used to decoupage, and there's actually 4 of these cats on the napkins when you open them up. And then a little like ghost goodie bag. There's some fabrics and trims and book pages, some scrapbook paper scraps. There's some bingo cards, kind of hard to see. I already sealed these. These are not resealable or I'd open them, but there's not a ton of stuff, but there's a little envelope in there or a little sack in there that has some little pieces. So whatever I had left over, I'm trying to share as I clean up. So let's finally get into this. This is a ring binder journal that I made this year, and it's created using a digital. I'll have the digital, all the digitals I use will be listed in the description box. The binder measures 8 1/4 by 9 1/4, and the thickness of the spine is about 2 1/2. So it has about 60 pages front and back. And then it does have this removable tassel. So I did tie this little bow here, but this is just tied. You can simply untie it if you don't like that there. That's a little, I had a very little amount of black vintage gift tie that I could use on the remainder of these. And then this is a combination of some beads and charms, and there's some buttons. There's this little pumpkin button, or bead, excuse me, and just a variety of things. Another little pumpkin, more pumpkins, a little skull bead, and a spider charm here. And then there is a vintage button right here. It's kind of blends in. And then I did do some ribbon tassels, so they all kind of just lay together. And then these are tied on separately. There's one of these little vintage replica type hotel keychains on all of them. All 3 of them have these similar tassels. This is the only one that has the ribbon tassel, and then a skeleton key. This is not vintage. I just found it thrifting. They all have one of those, and they're tied on separately if you want to untie those. They're just tied onto the little hoop. So that's the tassel. And I'll give you guys a kind of close-up of the cover. We've got some layers here. I used some distress ink to make this look a little bit more like a muted gold. I did take the digital, I stitched around it, and I used some stickles, and then just did a little from a paper line, little piece from a paper line. So we'll take a peek on the inside. I did not do any pockets or book plate or anything on the inside because I'm going to leave that up to you what you want to do. The other 2 journals do have pockets, but I don't know, for some reason with this one I wasn't sure if I should do the pocket, if it would look right, or if these would interfere, so I just didn't do that. I don't really have a good reason why, but I just didn't. So this is a blank slate for you, and it's already black, so kind of goes. There are a lot of clusters in all three of these journals that I've made, layering some. This is from a vintage quilt, and there's some of this, what is this stuff called? I can't think of what that stuff is called. I'll think of it in a minute. And some glittery tulle, and then just some sentiments here. And this is one of the greeting cards that I did stitch around. Most of the stitching in here is like an orange metallic. And then there's a journaling card here with another little cluster. And I did do some stamping. I'm always very nervous to do stamping because I'm afraid if it doesn't turn out, I'll have ruined whatever I was trying to stamp. But let's see if we can get this at a good angle. And then there are lots of cards, or tags, excuse me, handmade tags. This is a KBandFriends printable. And there are a lot of different rub-on application sticker type things. They're rub-ons, they're not sticker. And actually that's what I used on the tassels, the hotel replica. I forgot to mention this. These are rub-ons on here. So I wouldn't go scratching it, but I think it should be fine for our purposes. And then there are handmade paper clips. This one's a little bead. Got several little beads. I did tea dye and coffee dye paper and accessories. There's some money here with a witch on it and an old canceled check. These are really fun to use in collage. I like to include those. This is an image. So these two books are both hardcover, but they're from the same book. So this was the original book underneath, and this was the sleeve, and I just backed it onto some really thick book board to make another hardcover journal. So all of these black and white pages are from this book, which is Make a Witch, Make a Goblin. It's all about like Halloween crafts. It's really fun, cutesy. I don't tend to do very much scary stuff, but so I did back that with some paper and just stitched around it. There's some fabric layers and rickrack, and there's a little glittery spider web here. And a lot of these elements are from what Tova sent me. There's a little Kismet score sheet. Be fun to use in collaging your own little layouts. And I did try my hand at making some vintage tape. So it's a bit darker than I would have wanted it, which is okay for Halloween. But I want to try a different color alcohol ink next time. And then this is a Sears and Roebuck catalog replica that Tova sent me in Happy Mail. And just a little beaded paper clip here. And this is from just a very old children's, I think it was a nursery rhyme book, and another rub-on. This is an artificial leaf and a little replica milk cap. And these are not Halloween related at all. I just liked how they were black and white. Or excuse me, orange and black, with like the colors just went really well. And this is a vintage bingo that I didn't alter. It is kind of heavy, so you can alter it or make another little Halloween journal with that. Again, some of the aged tape and another cluster. This is a page that was originally just white. I took a spiderweb stamp and stamped with it, and then this was an old crib sheet, and I just cut it up, ruffled it, and then there's some of this lace here, and this was a cupcake stick, so I just took the stick off and used that. It's pretty flat. And then some of this little, I don't know what this was. It was from the Dollar Tree, and with the Halloween decorations. I guess I think it's supposed to look like spider webs, I think, but I don't know what you do with it if you decorate with it. But and most of the tags are stitched around. I did leave a few not stitched around in case you preferred to use them as like a photo mat or something like that. or in collage or something. There's a lot of wallpaper in all 3 of the journals. This is a piece, it's very textured, and just really good quality. And then some black lined paper. I did double it up and stitch around it so that so it didn't pull out easily with the holes. This is super fun to use a gel pen, white gel pen on. And then this is another little printable image. It's really, really cute, kind of a mixed media vibe. And this is another one of those little images from the nursery rhyme book. And this does flip out. And this is another kind of mixed media card here. Most of them are lined with tea stain paper on the back. Some of them I added stickles or gold gel pen to. Some of them I didn't. I just kind of tried to mix it up a little. And then there's a little tab here. So you don't have to use this. So if you have a lot of your own embellishments for all 3 of these journals, if you have a lot of photos, embellishments, or thick things, you're going to have to take some of the stuff I'm including out. And you can either use it in another journal or something like that. But I put a ton of stuff in here, but you don't have to use it all. Like this, this is thinner cardstock. You can like tear it and use it in collage. And I just kind of slipped it here so you could see that can be used as a little like clipboard. And another little cluster here. I still can't think of what this stuff is called. You guys all know what it's called. You're probably yelling and screaming at the screen. Burlap. That's what it's called. Burlap fabric. This is a hand-dyed piece of paper, and I did double it up so it's folded. If you want, you could attach, the side and the bottom, and make this into a little pocket, but it's not super thick paper, so just have to be kind of careful. This is a little pumpkin charm. Some of that spider web tulle ruffled here on the side. Again, I did double the pages because of the binder. This is another digital image and some tags. Another cluster here. There's another paper clip. This is one of the kind of mixed media images. I'll leave the link to this shop in the description box. And I took some stickles just to kind of accent and make it extra fun. It's so fun with all the holiday stuff to get all the things out and use them. Stamps and whatever you want to use, everything goes. This is a stamp. Another little cluster. This bat is the cutest bat ever. And then this is some more wallpaper. It's really kind of a neat design. This is a coffee dyed oversized Rolodex card and a little fabric bow paper clip here. KBandFriends printable clipped on here. I did dye some CD sleeves with coffee, and then this is just a little image with a little sentiment that says set a pumpkin by your door, and then this flips open and it's just there's just a piece of cardstock in here. I thought it'd be cute to put a photo or something in there. And I also dyed some coffee dyed some glassine bags, so that's what this is. I made a little tag to put in here, and then it also can serve if you would like it to. It doesn't have to. You can just journal on this and not tuck anything underneath, but it can serve as a little tuck spot. And this is an image I found online that was copyright free. I think I found it last year or the year before, so I'm not exactly sure where I found that. There's some orange lined paper and a vintage price ticket here. Again, doubled up. There's some more of that aged tape. Here I decoupaged one of the napkins that I'm sharing with you guys. Only the front, only this first cat on the front of the napkin has the gold on his hat and his teeth. The rest of them have this like kind of white area. So this bag doesn't have anything in it, but figured you can do what you'd like with that. It was just a fun thing to decoupage that on there. And then this is some vintage gift tie that's tied in a bow for a paper clip. This is a kind of like a floating pocket. I just stuck it here because I was going to attach it to this page, and then I thought for this white page, this is exactly how this one started out before I did the stamping on it. So if you want to do stamping or some collage or paint or whatever you'd like, and then you can stick this on there if you want. It's just kind of an option. Some ledger paper. Some more of my practice tape. This is just another digital journaling card, or it could be another tuck spot, and it's just a few layers of papers. There's a little paper clip with some pumpkin ribbon and a button here. This is more wallpaper, and this one is really pretty. It's got some shimmer, kind of like some glitter embedded in it. And then there's some more of that ruffle here. And on the other side, we have this kind of tuck spot. Oops. Little guy's tucked in there. There's a tuck spot here and a pocket here. So I just stuck this little, that's just a little fussy cut that I had left over. And there's a rub-on with some tea stained or coffee stained paper and another little cluster stuck in here. And then just a large journaling tag stuck in here. Some more of that black lined paper and some trim and tea stained paper. There's another leaf here with the milk cap. Here's another one of the digitals that I used some stickles, and did I use gel pen on this one? No, not on this one. So I just experimented, having fun doing different things that I have. This is a vintage price ticket and a little ribbon bow paper clip here. And this is a greeting card that I turned into a tuck spot. And then some more journaling tags, lots and lots of tags. So you can use what you'd like, take out what you'd like. There's a little bottle cap charm here, and I tied some of this little ribbon around it that kind of looks like spider. Reminds me of a spider. I don't know why. Fuzzy spider. And just clipped some extras on here. Another digital image, some more wallpaper. So this is a pocket, and I stuck some stuff in here. And then some more scrapbook paper with some of the trim. And this is a KBandFriends printable, and some rickrack and, you know, fabrics. There's a large tag in here, and I stamped on the back. This is another one of the digitals that I used. This one I used some black stickles on. Hopefully, I think you can see that on the camera. And another, the nursery rhyme. And a lot of these are backed with black paper. So you could either use a gel pen, or you could put some, you know, put some paper on there to write on, or just post a picture, mount a picture on there. You could even make it into another tuck spot if you wanted. And another little cluster and another tea-stained index card or Rolodex card. Here I took this frame and backed it with some transparency and made it into a little pocket, see-through pocket here that I thought would be cute with a picture. And then you could write on the back. So that's the binder. It's super fun. I love it. I hope someone out there loves it and wants it, because I just love this. I'm not a huge Halloween person, but it is fun because I realized when I was doing this why I think like it's because I don't love Halloween. But everything is so coordinated, and apparently that's just who I am, coordinated, opposite of eclectic. And so it's a good excuse to just be coordinated. All right, so let's do this one next. Like I mentioned, this is the this was the book sleeve, and I did back it onto, like, I don't know if you can tell, some heavy book board, so it is very hardcover. I have not, I got this out. I was going to do it before the video. This is the fray check that I use on the, like the rickrack, and then probably I'll use some on the ribbons on this tassel on the bottom of the ribbons. Some of them I might be able to melt, but others I'll need to use this. And I just didn't want to do it beforehand because until it dries you can see it, and I didn't want you guys to think that's how it was gonna be. Okay, so anyway, this one measures 9 by 7.5 and has a just under 2-inch spine with 2 signatures. And then this is the tassel. This one doesn't have any ribbons. It's just, let's see how we can show this. Oh boy, Craft-a-lanch over here. There's some beads. This is not going to do it justice. There's a little pumpkin bell and some beads and a skull bead and a spiderweb bead and one of those keys and a little skeleton hand, skull, and then this is the hotel keychain for this one. Has a little skeleton and then says Happy Halloween on the back. And then the key again is just tied on separately. It has that little spooky button. Okay, I think you guys get the gist. And this one I did do a tie. It's just built into the covers, so you can just tie it, untie it. And okay, so these, I did do pockets on these. This one has one of those frames on the back and a pocket on the front. And there's just some things tucked in here for you to play with. And then lots of different clusters again with different layers. I know these can be hard to see on camera. Then this was a greeting card that Tova had sent me. Really cool kind of mixed media. I did do a rub-on transfer on the back. Some more wallpaper. Some more of that tulle wallpaper pocket here with another cluster. This one says October 31st, in case you can't make that out. I'm not sure how well it's showing up on the camera. Again, lots and lots of journaling tags. And some of that aged tape. So this was a page from the book. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, I will be including more pages from the book in case you want to I fussy cut some of these out, but I have more book pages to share. And the tape actually started because a few of these had little rips in them, and I thought, oh, that'd be perfect to try that vintage tape look out with that because I have to repair it anyway. So I did the alcohol ink, and then once it was dry, I took it off the wax paper and just used glue stick to attach it. Then there's a little tab up here. This one's Dictionary for Boogeyman. It has a little puffy sticker stitched on. Some more little puffy stickers and such here. Another cluster. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. One of those book pages, and then this is some really cute scrapbook paper. The owls are glittery. I did have to extend the pages in both of these books because they were wider than 6 inches. I probably don't have to talk as much through this one because if you watched the first one, the elements are similar. Lots of things paper clipped in again, a different bottle cap charm on this paper clip. Even some of these book pages are just clipped in. This was the printable I used on the binder journal before the stickles. So that's, again, can be a floating pocket or a tag. Some more wallpaper. This one's a pocket. I did stick some stuff in here. Some stickers and such. Another cluster. I had a good old time making those clusters. hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to take you along with me on making these, and of course that just did not happen. Now this is the very lucky journal, yes it's this one, that gets the October 31st, 1947 planner page. I think, it's funny because I think this Halloween is on a Friday too. Or I think Halloween this year is on a Friday, I should say. I'm wondering if you guys are already all working on your, I know some people do, or not December, October dailies. I didn't really feel like this is very Halloween, not fall. So I didn't feel like I needed to get this done for that, but I don't know. Are you guys all working on, what are you working on? Which, I feel like at the end of the year we've got Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, all of those things. So there's a lot going on. And in my house, October is a very busy month as well. It's my birthday month. My 3-year-old will be 4 this Halloween, or this October. My wedding anniversary is in October, and my stepdad's birthday is in October. So it's a very busy month. There is some stickles on this one, and as well as some gold gel pen. You can see the gold gel pen in the grass and on the tree. And then there's nothing in this pocket actually. There's plenty. You can move around and tuck in that pocket. This was a cupcake. I think I put a cupcake liner in most all of the packages. And I just cut the little house out to use as a little piece of ephemera. So you can definitely do that throughout. This was in some Happy Mail that Tova sent me also, but I think the Dollar Tree may have these still this year, if I'm not mistaken. And then, whoops. So this can be a tuck spot. Let me show you. If you want it to be. This was my way of extending the page. And there is some stickles on this one as well. And I pulled the paper clip up. So these are kind of, they're all different, the beaded paper clips, but they're all the same concept. And there's just a Tim Holtz person thing clipped on here. This is some hand-dyed paper also, and some of that ledger, some music paper. This was a fussy cut from the book. Not sure what I stuck in there. Some goodies. Another one of the glassine, coffee dyed glassine bags with a chalkboard tag here. This is a flashcard, black and orange. These paper clipped onto this side. These are also optional little clipboards if you want to just, like if this were a photo, I think this is 4x6. If this were a photo, you could just slip it on there, put a little bit of tape right here, and you'd be done with that page. So same thing with this side. And if you don't want it to be like that, you don't have to use it like that. Again, some black stickles on this one, and there's a fabric bow paper clip there. Another little fussy cut guy. I did make a little bingo shaker that can be used as, you can further decorate it and make it into a tuck spot or a journaling tag, whatever you like to do with it. And it looks like I forgot to stitch around this. This would have been normally a tag, but I'll leave that there. so that you can do what you'd like with it. If you want to make it into a tag, you can. Okay, so this was some table scatter of stars. And I came up with this great idea that I thought it would be to make it like a page edge here. And I'm not sure if it was the, I'm not really sure. Throughout this whole collection, my sewing machine was really acting up. It was definitely not behaving, and it did not like going through these. So I'll have to try this again, but this is the only one I did on this because I was already having a lot of trouble with my sewing machine. Yeah, so you may notice, like I haven't seen an example yet, but some of the journaling cards on the back, the stitching gets a little messy in some places. For Halloween, I don't feel like it really matters, but just be aware of that. And then I did put some stickles in the window so it looks like the light is shining of this digital. And we get to the back, some more of that glittery wallpaper that's very textured, and a little pocket there. So I will quickly go through the Happy Halloween with the pumpkin. So this was the book, the actual book cover. This was underneath the book jacket. And it measures about 9 1/4 by 7 1/2, just under 2-inch spine. It only had this on here, so I thought I should add some more decoration. It does have these tape marks, and the corners are rough, which, like I said, for Halloween, I feel like all it does is add to the character of it. But those tape marks were there. I think that's what was holding the book sleeve on. So we've got some of that fabric, little triangles, and some of the mesh, and I did do a chipboard piece here, and there's a little glittery spider up here. The tassel is very similar to the last tassel with beads and buttons. The hotel keychain has a skeleton and goblins on it, and we've got the skeleton key, pumpkin bead, another pumpkin bead. There's a little skeleton, and there's a skeleton, I think that's, oh no, ghost bead there. And what other fun things have I put on here? Just a variety, similar variety. So we'll go ahead and take a peek inside. Again, it has 2 signatures and the tie is built in. Again, I did do pockets. I think this one has the same pockets front and back. Okay, so this was the cupcake one. The cupcake piece that I cut the houses out of, so you can use those as more little die cuts. And I've got some extra wallpaper in here in this pocket, and a Kismet game, and a Rolodex. This one's not copy dyed. Another little date book page, flashcard. I do have gum labels. I think I put some gum labels in the extra pack if you want to kind of make it extra junky. Those are vintage gum labels. And then we've got a cluster here. The greeting card. I did, for both of them, I did hinge it with fabric so that it couldn't allow for the thickness of this to wrap around the signature. And then we just have this is a printable image, and I just made a little ribbon bow here and glued it on. Little journaling tag. I tried to make this one look like a, what is that? Can't think of the word for it. I tried to shape this one. Anyway, that's my attempt at that. What was I going to say? Oh, this is some more wallpaper and some more of that tulle. Another cluster here. This one's all paper, and I inked around most everything just because, like I said, it's Halloween, so can get all the fun things out. This one has the copyright page, and the copyright of that book, in case you're looking for it, is 1977. Make a witch, make a goblin. All about Halloween crafts. Here, this one I did put a brown paper bag in. Doesn't look like I put anything in the paper bag. And then I made a pocket on the front. This is the digital that also has stickles added. And a little journaling tag up here. And some more things paper clipped on. This is a tuck. This was from some of the scrapbook paper that I had. I just fussy cut it out and made it into a triangular corner pocket here. Some vintage ephemera tucked in here. Guy from the book fussy cut and a fabric bow. The decoupage napkin bag. Some line paper, the bingo card, the little paper clip. For this one I made a shaker tag just for fun. Book page, line paper. This is hinged with some orange and white Swiss dot fabric. Here I tried my hand at making a little shaker for the tab. That was kind of fun. And this tag is actually a pocket, so you can hide some journaling in there. And then this is also a pocket. And we've got a little collage here that I made into a double tuck here. So we've got the witch from the book and a little cluster up here. And then another journaling tag. In this bow I just glued on. Skeleton guy here, book page, tea stain paper, line paper. This is the bottle cap for this paper clip for this one. This one is one of the nursery rhymes that looks kind of more Halloween. She's got this look of fright on her face. She's missing a shoe. That was pretty fitting. I fussy cut this lady out. I thought it would be fun to make back this onto some cardstock and make it into a pocket, but I had made so many pockets I was nervous to do that, so I just included it for you to do that if you'd like. And again, some more stickles, and this one also has some gold gel pen. I don't know if the gold gel pen's coming through on camera. This is the other half of the brown paper bag, and I stamped on the back. And then this time the top is a pocket. And this is backed with some brown paper sack, just for something different. Another KBandFriends printable here, one of those side pockets. I think this one is one I did too. I accidentally did put 2 of these in here, which is okay. Get more decoration. And we've got a tab here. Again, paper bag, backed, like the thin sack paper bag, not the thick grocery store. Here I just clipped on a little gem that I had found in my stuff. I think that might have come from Tova. This again is a tuck. You want it to be. Some more wallpaper. This is literally trash. It came, my mother-in-law got my daughters some Halloween nail polish, and this came in the packaging. So I thought, oh, that'd be perfect. Journaling card. So I stuck that one in here. And we've got another cluster down here. Making some cat sock puppets. Things clipped in. Again, just clipped in. Hand-dyed paper, the Sears and Roebuck catalog page, that vintage note card. I think I'm going to put a set of these in my Etsy shop too if you're wanting to make some of your own Halloween journals, or just send them. I don't have the envelopes still, but I do have the cards, and I believe they were, let me see, do I have them? No, I don't have them with me. In the description or on my listing, I'll take a picture of the back because I can't think of the brand, but it's a pretty common one. If you're interested in having any of those. Again, just fussy cut. I need to paper clip him on. This one has a spider skull tab. Another little corner pocket. It's got some of that spider web stuff and the tulle and some cardstock as a triangle. And some vintage elements here to kind of junk it up. Did a spider web here, and then this is that picture, the photograph. And then this is the beaded paper clip for this one. Okay, so this is a good example. This is probably one of the worst ones, but the back, the stitching got pretty messy. But like I said, I don't think for Halloween it's too bad. But there's a pocket here, and then on the back I have another glassine bag with one of those chalkboard tags. The vintage gift tie bow, more spider webs. This is another floating pocket or tag. Some offcuts of the wallpaper, and then another one of those stickles images, or the digitals that I use stickles. This little lady, she's clipped in. Some collaging here. This one, the sentiment says, "A thick fog rolls by." And another one of those frames with a tag. And this one flips out. Some more stickles and gold gel pen on this one. Again, this can be a tuck spot if you'd like. Some more wallpaper, another cluster, and some tags. A piece of the little rub-on was stuck to that. So these were a lot of work. Hopefully you guys see that. I'm a haunt mess. Yeah, that about applies to me the last few weeks. I feel that. And I hope you've enjoyed seeing them. If you're not in the market for a journal, I hope you got some inspiration. And I hope you guys are having a fun time crafting. I'd love to hear what you're working on. If you're working on Halloween or Christmas or fall. I'm going to do a few fall journals next. Right now today I'm feeling like I need to make something pretty. Like can't really put my finger on it, but that's what I'm thinking will be next for me, is something pretty in fall, and maybe a few unembellished journals. I don't know. We'll see. So if you're interested in purchasing any of the three of these, you can head to my Etsy shop. I'll have the link in the description, the direct link to my shop. And then if you're interested in this one, whether you want it embellished, unembellished, whatever, I can kind of work with you on that. Just send me an email through my Etsy shop and I'd be happy to finish that for you. Otherwise, if I don't hear anything in like a few days or a week, I'm just gonna put my Halloween stuff away and move on. But I hope you guys are all doing well, and if you stuck with me to the end of the video, thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.